Hello friends, this is Samuel once again from Sony Tech. Okay, so in this one we'll be talking about React Native. We'll be talking about how to get started, some useful tips and tricks, and some cool extensions you should use as a developer or a React Native developer, some cool UI libraries you should try out. Okay, so before we get to the next part, let me show you something useful from Expo. So essentially, Expo is a third-party application that helps you to output your React Native app on your phone. So you can use an emulator from Android Studio or an iOS simulator from Xcode. Okay, so if you haven't used Expo before, you should visit the Expo Docs and copy this command, which is npm i_g, that is globally installing Expo CLI on your machine. Okay, so after that you can run this command, which I'll be doing in the next part, but I'm not going to install Expo. Use this first extension in the next part of the video. Okay, but some prerequisites before you get started with React Native as a developer. Okay, so you should have some basic knowledge of HTML and CSS, and also you should know how to write some JavaScript. Essentially, or the required one is the ES6 syntax, and also you should have Node.js installed. So you should have either npm or yarn installed. Okay, so I would like to see if you haven't subscribed to my channel and you're interested in stuff related to web development, PC tricks, tech trends, consider subscribing, and there are a lot of useful things you can find there and useful things to come. Okay, so see you in the next part of the video. Okay, but before we jump into the next part, what then is React Native? So React Native is a cross-platform mobile development framework which is written in pure JavaScript, and it was developed by Facebook, which is now known as Meta. And React Native has some competitors like Xamarin, it has Sencha, it has Ionic Framework, which is my personal favorite when I got started with mobile development, and PhoneGap and Flutter, which is another powerful and a good competitor to React Native. Okay, so welcome back. Okay, so in this one, we're creating a React Native app using Expo. So I'm going to pull out my terminal and write some commands. Okay, so let me make this a bit bigger and increase the transparency. Reduce it. Okay, so I'm going to print my working directory, do pwd. Okay, so I'm in my users. I'm going to cd into my desktop and paste this. So I got this path from, you can simply press here if you're on the Windows machine and press here to get your path. Okay, cool. I'm going to cd. So right now I'm in my desktop. So when I do print working directory again, it shows I'm in my desktop. Okay, so let me clear. Okay, so I'm going to make a folder. So I name it React Native Login App. React Native Login App. Okay, so right now I'm going to cd into the React Native Login App. Okay, so let's do pwd once again. Okay, cool. Okay, so essentially what can we do? We're going to run, let me close this, clear this, and run Expo Init, and I'm going to do login. Okay, login app. Okay, cool. But before we hit enter, let's check and see if it is created. Okay, so React Native is RR. Okay, so this is it. When I open it, there's nothing in here. Okay, so to confirm that we have something in there, we can do touch, and let's see if we can create something from it. From there, so let's do touch, and let's do test.js. Okay, cool. So let's check if there's a file being created. Okay, so React Native Login App. Okay, so the file is here. Okay, so let me get rid of it. Cool. And let me do ls and list what is inside. So there's nothing inside of a React Native Login App. So I can run Expo Init and login app. Let me make it 2. I'm going to hit enter. So we're going to install some dependencies needed for our work. Okay, so it's asking us if we should choose. We need a blank template, a TypeScript one, or with stabs with TypeScript. So I'm going to hit enter. It's going to download the template. It's going to take some time, so I'm going to pause the video and get back to you. Okay, so it says your project is ready. So we can do cd login app and start. So let's do cd login app. Okay, so before we run npm start, I'm going to open this in Visual Studio Code. I'm going to do code dot. I hope you can see this. Okay, so when you're using VS Code, you do code space dot. When you're using Atom, you do Atom space dot. When you're using Sublime Text, you do sub space dot. I'm going to hit enter. Okay, cool. Then I can reduce this and okay, so cool. Okay, so our app is done. Okay, so that is it for this video. I'll see you in the next video, which is the folder structure and creating some components. See you there. Okay, so welcome back. Okay, so in this one I'm going to start with our components and folder structure. Okay, so here we have our Expo share, which is Expo related folder. We have our assets folder, which has some stuff like the 5 icon, the icon itself, the splash screen icon, and we have the get ignore, and we have the app.js. So we'll be doing most of our work. But for this very tutorial, and sorry, we have our node models folder, which comes with the Expo Init thing. It has lots of dependencies which you need. So when you're having problems with your app, your React Native app, and you still run npm start and it isn't working, you can delete the node models folder and run npm install again. It's going to create it once, download everything you need. Okay, so before we get started, I'm going to be using Expo, so let me drag my screen. Okay, so let's continue. I'm going to open my terminal. You can do that from here. I'm going to use a shortcut. In my case, it is Ctrl Shift and the backticks, and I'm going to run npm, not npl, npm start. Let me reduce my terminal a bit. Okay, so I'm going to start. Okay, so let me like this. Okay, so I want to open my Expo development tools or developer tools on my browser. Okay, so starting Metro Bundler. Okay, cool. Okay, so you can go ahead to your Play Store and download Expo Go, or you can open your Androids to your, which I have here, and you can, when you are done with that, you come to your Expo developer tools. You can click here, run Android, or you can try it in the terminal by pressing E, or yeah, the commands are there. Okay, so cool. Okay, so when you have your Expo app, Go app, as I'm going to be doing, I'm going to bring out my phone. Okay, one moment. Okay, so I'm going to bring out my phone, and this is the Expo Go app. Where's Expo? Okay, so this is the Expo Go app. So you can download it on Google Play Store or on the App Store, and I'm going to open it and okay, cool. I don't like the light theme. Let's go with the dark theme. Dark. Yeah, good. Okay, so this is good. Okay, so go ahead and click on scan QR code. So essentially what you have to do is to point this to this and scan it. I'm going to do that. Okay, so cool. Okay, so I've opened my app in using Expo, and let me check if it's working. Let me add more exclamation marks, and okay, so if I have a quick refresh. Okay, so I'll see you in the next tutorial where we download our component and start working. Okay, so let's talk about the basic components in React Native. Okay, so when you visit the official React Native website and you head over to components, okay, so this is the official React Native website. When you head over to components, we have the core components and API. So these are the main ones. You have the button, you have the flat list, you have the image background, the keyboard avoiding view, the modal, the pressable, the refresh control, a whole lot, and the text, which will be commonly used anytime you build a React Native project. Okay, so you can check it out. Okay, so See you in the next video. Okay, so welcome back. Okay, so in this one I'll be showing you some useful extensions and my favorite theme. Okay, so head over to the extensions tab. Sorry about that. This is useful extension, so ES7 plus. I'll be leaving links to these extensions in the description down below, so check it out. So this one, and there's this useful one up here. So better comment is also good. And where's prettier code formatter, prettier. So this is prettier, it's also good. And there's this other extension, rainbow brackets, and this is React native elements. We'll be looking at the UI libraries where you know why we have React native elements here. And there's this other one, so tab 9, yes, tab 9. And of course you need GitHub Copilot, might take some time. Okay, so cool. Okay, so welcome back. Okay, so in this one I want to show you one problem every developer faces, or anyone getting started with React Native development faces. So let me open one project and React Native and show you something. So I'm selecting this folder and I want to open it in my VS Code. Okay, so once I've opened it, okay, so I would like to open my terminal and run npm start, and you see I get an error. So I'll show you how to fix that error. Okay, why is it keeping long? Okay, so when I do npm start or expo start, this is the error I get. Okay, so it says npm error code no what I don't know what it's saying. So let me clear this. Okay, so you can see from here that I went into my React Native folder and I just went into this folder which is done with it. So let's do ls to list what is inside, and you show that this is what is inside, this very one. Okay, so what I'm supposed to do is to cd and type done and hit tab and enter this directory. And right now I'm inside of my folder. So when you see now graphic user interface, so this is the main folder and this is what is inside of this folder. So when I do expo start or npm start, it's going to work now. Okay, so essentially what I want to show you here is that you should always check the paths before you run npm or expo start. Okay, cool. Okay, so another cool thing or another problem we face as junior React Native developers, so when we get started with React Native development, is sometimes when you work on a project and we leave it for some time and we come back, you see that when we run npm start, we get errors. Okay, so it might be due to upgrades or updates in some of the packages. So what you can do is just to open your project in your terminal in VS Code. In your terminal you can run npm install, or you can delete the node models folder, which is this one, and run npm install again. It's going to install all the dependencies you need for your projects to run successfully. Okay, so thanks for watching this one. See you in the next one. Okay, so welcome back. Okay, so in this one I'll be talking about React Native navigation and the UI libraries you should check out. Okay, so we have React Native navigation, and this one essentially helps you to move from one page to another in your React Native app. It's just like React router in normal React. Okay, so you can read the docs, and also let's talk about the UI libraries you should check out. Okay, so we have native base. So native base is one of my favorite UI libraries, and it's just like Tailwind CSS and Bootstrap, yes, I guess. Okay, so you just have to read the docs and they'll show you the installation guide and how to install npm and yarn and how to wrap things around using their components, and yeah, it's cool and it's easy to use. Also, we have React Native elements. It is just like native base, but I'll choose native base over React Native elements. They are both good. And we have React Native paper too. It's also good, and yes, it's also good. And we have UI kitten. We have other ones like React Native material, which is for material icon from Google. Yes. Okay, so guys, essentially we've come to the end of this one, and If this was cool, consider subscribing and give this video a like. Thanks for watching. Bye.